Today we're going to show you how to install these 36 watt 7-inch Genssi light bars on a 2007 F-150. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is take the lights out of the package, get them unpacked, and we're going to mount the mounting brackets onto the light. Now to put the bracket on, you want to line up these ridges with the ridges on this side. Then we have this small bolt with the washer. What we're going to do is when we mount the lights right here in this open spot, we have part of the frame of the truck right there, and then another spot on the other side right there. This piece of flat bar, it's 1.5 inches by 1/4 inch thick. We're going to weld it to the two bumper frames in here, and that's what our lights are going to mount onto. Now that we got our piece of flat bar cut and angled to match up to the inside frame, we're going to put it in there, and we're going to do a spot or tack weld to get it in place, to double check to make sure everything's where we want it to be before we do our final weld. We got now our first side, we have a small little tack weld on to hold the bar on, and we're going to put a tack weld on this other side, and we're using a level to hold it to make sure everything's going to be level for us. Okay, we got it level. Now we're going to throw in our little tack weld here. Now we have the flat bar welded in, mounted. We have the lights just sitting on the bar where we want them to be. We put this piece of blue tape here on the center line so we can measure from the center point of the tape to the outer edge of the light to make sure they're even on both sides. Now we got to mark our holes where the mounting brackets are going, or where the holes for the mounting brackets are going, and get those drilled out so we can mount the lights. Now we have our lines marked, everything where the lights were going to go. We busted out the tack welds that we had, and we're gonna pull the bar back out, and we're gonna take the light and we're gonna set them back on here. We're gonna mark where our holes go, and we're gonna drill our holes so we can mount the lights. What we're doing here is putting it back together and making a mark right there. That way we know, so we can take it back off and we know where to drill the other hole, because the holes are up underneath the light and they can't be on there when we're doing the drilling. What we're doing here is we took the brackets off of the lights and we are mounting them to the flat bar right here, if you can see, that we have welded back in. Here's what the lights look like mounted. The lights are securely fastened, everything's mounted, securely ready to go. Now we're going to wire in the lights. Before we start wiring, the first thing we want to do is disconnect our power source. The first thing we're going to do here is get the wiring to the lights, and we're going to strip the wires off, connect them with another wire, and solder them together.
Okay, I'm getting ready to, the relay is going to be mounted right here. We got the power connection to the relay. It comes around here, and it's going to connect to the positive side of the battery right here. And this is the ground for the relay, which I think I'm going to just use probably this ground right here, right next to where the relay is going to be mounted right here. So we'll get that connected. And then the other two connectors, one goes to the light source, to the lights, and then to the switch inside the cabin.
This is how everything looks with all the wires taped up. We put this covering over the wires. Everything's heat shrinked and soldered together. And then the main wire comes up and it goes up here to the engine compartment.
This is the in-house switch that we mounted right here. We were going to try to mount it right in this area here, but we couldn't quite get it to fit, so we just drilled a little hole and mounted it here. But it's just a regular toggle switch. Got a little indicating light when it's on, off, and it works really good. It looks good, and it should work really well. Now that our installation is completed, we've got the wiring all hooked up, and this is the main wiring right here that we've got. This is the power end of it. Coming around, we got a fuse here, inline fuse. This actually goes to the switch inside the cab, and this one over here, this is a 15 amp fuse. It goes to our relay, which our relay is mounted right here, and we moved the rest of our wiring was routed inside of this channel right here for existing wiring, and we come over here, we go down. We had to drill a hole to get into the firewall for our switch, which is kind of hard to see, but it's tucked way back there. And that's pretty much it. You just have to be sure that you got all your connections done well. We tried to use solder connections whenever we could, and just make sure your grounds are really good and tight, because that's real important for a 12-volt system. So have fun.
Alright, here's a quick little video of the lights. This is my regular driving lights, and this is with the LED lights turned on. Do it one more time.